You are in war, but not with the world. The true battle is within you. Your mind is either your tool or your downfall. Your body is either your friend or your jail. I did not become Bruce Lee by luck. I made Bruce Lee. I was weak. I was weak. I was doubted. I was told I would fail. But I did not accept boundaries. Neither should you allow me to teach you lessons that will forever change your perception of yourself. You hear people say, I can't do this. I can't be that. But who told you that? Where did those boundaries come from? Most of the time, boundaries are not there. They are beliefs, invisible chains. You bind upon yourself. You are not too weak, too slow, or past the point of where it's too late. The only thing holding you back is the belief that you can't move forward each time you tell yourself, I can't. Your mind hears it. It constructs a barrier around you. And over time, that barrier turns into jail. But here's the truth. There is no barrier. There is no jail. You have the key inside of you to set yourself free. Begin small. Each day, push a little harder than yesterday. If your body is exhausted, do one more rep. If your mind is telling you to stop, take one more step. If fear is telling you to give up, face it head on. The instant you push beyond what you believed was possible, you demonstrate to yourself that limits are an illusion. Comfort is the real enemy. It whispers, stay where you are. It's simpler. But the individuals who hear comfort never develop. They remain the same year after year. If you desire to be strong, if you desire to be powerful, you need to get uncomfortable. You need to enter the unknown. You don't have to make a huge leap today, just one step and then another, because as soon as you begin shattering boundaries, you discover something. There are none human beings spend entire lives obeying rules they never questioned, doing things, traditions they never learned, and believing concepts they never questioned. They agree with things being the way that they were shown to them. But have you ever stopped, paused, and wondered, do you think this really is the absolute best method to do? Many persons fail not through lack of endeavor, but because they squander their energy on things that do not benefit them. They cling to ideas, habits, and systems that were never intended for them. In the first place, they attempt to fit into someone else's mold rather than molding their own. I never followed one martial arts style blindly. I borrowed what worked from each discipline: boxing, fencing, Wing Chun, wrestling, and discarded what didn't. That's how I created Juno, and that's how you must create yourself. The world will try to tell you what to think, how to act, and who to be. But you must filter everything. Take what is useful, throw away what is useless, and make something that is uniquely your own. So how do you do this? Begin by examining what you eat every day, the books you read, the everyday, the advice you take, the habits you practice. Are they really making you grow? Or are they keeping you stagnant? If something is holding you back, let it go. If a habit is making you weaker, eliminate it. You have to be merciless in eliminating what does not serve your development tomorrow. Seek knowledge from anywhere. Do not restrict yourself to a single method of thinking. Learn from other cultures, other fields, other angles. Imbibe the teachings of warriors, thinkers, and masters throughout history. Every bit of advice is a tool. The greater number of tools you have, the better. You are able to mold yourself. Lastly, do not merely imitate what others have made. Do not merely imitate what others have made. Do not merely tread the path that already exists. Build your own. Create your own voice, your own way of thinking, your own philosophy. You are not here to be an imitation of someone else. You are here to be the best version of yourself. Most people spend their lives being copies when they were supposed to be originals. But those who stand out, the ones who make a mark on this world, are the ones who soak up, discard, and build fear is the biggest liar you will ever find. It whispers in your ear, saying that you are not ready, that you are not ready, that you are not good enough, that if you attempt, you will fail. And so most people listen. They wait. They hold back. They wait for the ideal moment, a moment that never arises. But here's the reality: fear is not true. It is a thought, a prediction, an illusion produced by your mind. It only holds strength if you believe in it. What does happen when you allow fear to rule you? You get trapped. You don't act on your desires, fearing the challenge, instead meeting it, and gradually your world narrows. The things that you used to dream about are too far off. You begin to tell yourself, maybe I wasn't cut out for more, but that is a lie. Do you know what fear really is? It is a signal, a sign that you are standing on the edge of something significant. Fear does not say stop. It says this is where you become bigger. Every great thing that you desire, confidence, strength, mastery, success, exists on the other side of fear. But you will never get there if you continue running away. Observe a child learning to walk. They fall over and over again. They do not cry. They do not give up. They do not think maybe walking isn't for me. They keep going until they master it, because failure does not exist to a child. They do not fear it. They learn from it. But as we grow, we begin to fear failure. We avoid risks. We stop pursuing what we desire because we fear being foolish, fearful of failure, fearful of losing. But in actuality, the only success of failure is not attempting at all. The greatest warriors, the greatest brains, the greatest leaders, none of them achieved this without failure. I did not become because I never made any mistakes. I became Lee because I never allow failure to get the best of me each time I was brought down. I stood up wiser, tougher, better. So what do you do first? Stop dreading failure. Anticipate it. Embrace it. Each time you fail, you are one step closer to mastery. Each mistake betrays you of something. The only individuals who never failed were those who never even tried crime. Second, confront fear head on. Do the things that frighten you. Speak. When your voice trembles, move ahead. When doubt occurs in your mind, train. When your body is about to give up the greater, you step into fear. The weaker it gets soon. Was never real at all. And lastly, remember, this fear is only temporary. Regret is permanent. If you let fear hold you up now, years from now, you will look back and ask myself, what could I have been? What could I have done? And by then it will be too late. So do not wait. Do not hesitate. Run towards your fears. Break through them. And when you do, you will find something amazing waiting for you on the other side. Your true self. Your body is only as strong as your mind allows it to be. The greatest warriors in history weren't physically strong. They were mentally solid. They could withstand pain, push beyond exhaustion, and fight against impossible circumstances because their minds were conditioned for war long before their bodies ever set foot on the battlefield. Most people condition their muscles, but they never condition their thoughts. They lift weights, but bear weak beliefs. They hone their bodies, but let their minds stay stupid. And when troubles arise, they see grumble, not because they are weak of body, but because their minds have not been trained to endure struggle. Your mind is a tool, and like any tool, it must be forged, sharpened, and tested. The first step in training. Your mind is to master your thoughts. Most people are ruled by their own negative thinking. They say such things as, I can't do this, I'm not good enough. What if I fail? These thoughts are for a reason. Every time you think like this, you weaken yourself. You need to replace these thoughts with strong beliefs. When your mind sets, Can't you say, I will find a way, when doubt creeps in you? Remind yourself, I am stronger than this. You need to rewire your thinking, turning fear into fuel, obstacles into challenges, and pain into progress. Next, you have to train your focus. Most people let their mind be unruly, jumping from one distraction to the next. They waste hours on useless information, scrolling endlessly, consuming trash that degrades their mind, rather than energizing it. A warrior does not waste time. A warrior sharpens his focus like a sword, sharp, precise, and unstoppable. How do you do this? Begin by eliminating distractions. Stop loading your mind with useless noise. Read books that make you stronger. Surround yourself with ideas that challenge you. Feed your mind with wisdom, not weakness. If you can't control your focus, you will never control your future. You need to train your resilience too. A weak mind quits when things get tough. A warrior's mind breaks through. There will be days when you want to quit, when the pain is too much, when the goal is too far. This is when your training is tested. Will you break, or will you keep moving forward? The way to build resilience is easy. Do hard things every day. When you don't feel like training, train harder. Instructs you to quit, push more. When fear wants to stop you, step ahead anyway. Every time you do, your mind gets stronger. You turn tougher to break. And lastly, you need to build unshakable discipline. Motivation is feeble. It comes and goes like the wind, but discipline is the basis of mastery. It is waking up and doing what needs to get done, regardless of how you are feeling. It is choosing action over excuses, progress over comfort, and purpose over pleasure. Discipline is not innate. It is something you create one day at a time, one decision at a time. Every time you are present, every time you won't give up, every time you fight against obstacles, you're conditioning your brain to be unbreakable. A warrior is not created overnight. He's tempered by fire, combat, and adversity. Your brain needs to undergo the same process. Hone it, toughen it, test it, because ultimately, the greatest weapon you will ever be able to wield is not your fists, not your body, but your mind. And if you control it, there is nothing in this world that can stop you. Water is the strongest force in nature, not because it is strong in the way that stone is strong, not because it is rigid in the way that metal is rigid, but because it is adaptable. It can assume any shape, that it can be soft enough to slide through your hands, yet durable enough to erode mountains. It can walk with patience or blow with force. This is how you need to train your mind and body. Do not be hard like a rock that cracks under stress. Do not be stiff like a tree that cracks in the storm. Be like water, always moving, always changing, and always unstoppable. Most individuals fight against change. They do not want things to remain the same. They hold on to what they know because it feels safe to them. But life does not care about your comfort. Life will throw obstacles your way. It will alter the rules. It will nudge you in the opposite directions of what you anticipated. The weak panic. They complain. They want things to go back to the way they were, but warriors do not battle against change. They adapt with it. If water is hindered by an obstacle, does it cease? It finds a way. It goes over, under, around, or through. If you want to be strong in life, you have to do the same. When something goes awry, don't waste energy fighting reality bend. When life pushes you, don't break under. Pressure flow. Through it, find a way forward. The strongest are not those who stand still. The strongest are those who move, adapt, and conquer no matter what happens. Some people hear be water, and they think that it means being passive, being weak, just going wherever life takes them. But this is not what it means. Water is not weak. Water is among the most devastating powers in the world. It destroys cities, cuts through rock, and becomes ice so powerful it can break steel. Being water doesn't mean to surrender. It means understanding when to be gentle and when to be firm. When to be firm. When the circumstance demands, patience, be soft, move peacefully, flow easily. When the circumstance demands action, be a storm, strike hard, crash through everything in your path. A stiff person cannot do this. They know only one way to respond. But a warrior who is like water can deal with anything. They know when to wait, when to move, when to attack, and when to vanish like mist. Most individuals become trapped in their own thoughts. They think in just one way to be successful, live one way to do things, and when that way fails, they break. This is why you have to train yourself to be open, to look at things from other angles, to understand many paths, to never limit yourself to one strategy. I never follow just one style of martial arts. I learned the best from each and created something new. If one way didn't work, I discovered another. I didn't allow my mind to get stuck. You have to do the same with everything during training, during thinking in life. Never assume that there is just one method. Never allow your mind to be fixed. If something is failing, then change the way you are approaching it. Adapt, become shapeless, and you will never get stuck. Water doesn't always flow gently. At times, it turns to a storm war. At times, it becomes a tidal wave and destroys whatever comes in the way. This is how you need to be when your time is here, when you are trying to achieve something, when you are pursuing your dream, when you lay eyes on your opportunity. Do not hesitate. Do not hold back. Move like a flood. Move like a flood. Break through barriers. Overwhelm all that is in your way, because when you are like water, nothing can stop you. If a rock is in your way, you do not break, you flow around it. If a wall is in your way, you do not give up. You wear it down until it falls apart. If you are met with resistance, you do not retreat. You strike with force. This is why water always wins, because it never stops moving. It never lets anything stop it. And ultimately, it always finds a way. If you wish to master your mind and body, if you wish to be something that cannot be broken, you have to learn to be like water. When life is difficult, flow through the difficulty. When things do not go as you wish, adapt and adjust. When you encounter an adversary, strike at the ideal time. When challenges come along, go around or through. When you notice your opportunity, grab it with the strength of a tidal wave. Most individuals are either too soft and allow life to push them around, or too hard and crack under pressure. But you need to be different. You need to master the balance. The world cannot halt water. And when you are like water, the world cannot hold you back. Discipline is the master of everything. It is the power that distinguishes the weak from the strong, the ordinary from the extraordinary. The ones who dream from the ones who become most people fail not because they are not talented, not because they lack potential, but because they lack discipline. They depend on motivation. And when motivation wanes, as it always will, they stop, they quit, they yield to weakness. But discipline is unbreakable. It does not rely on how you feel. It does not wait for the ideal moment. It does not make excuses. If you learn discipline, you learn everything. Motivation is like a spark. It ignites for a moment, but then vanishes. Some days you will wake up and prepare to take over the world. Other days you might feel tired, disheartened, and wanting to slack. This is where discipline comes in. It does concern itself with how you are feeling. It does not inquire, do you want to train today? It does not wait for a good mood. Discipline is attending when nobody else can see. It is waking up early when you'd rather sleep. It is doing the hard work when your body wants to rest. It is pushing yourself forward even. When everything inside you says stop, most people let their feelings dictate their actions. They say, I don't feel like working today. I'll start tomorrow. Tomorrow, it's too hard. And so they stay in the same place. They never grow. They never reach their maximum potential. But the ones who prosper, they take steps forward in spite of things. They train even when they are exhausted. They toil even when they don't want to. They act even when doubt whimpers within their ears because they know. Discipline is not what you want. At the moment, it is what you want. Most every day, you have a choice. The pain of discipline or the pain of regret. Discipline hurts waking up early. When you don't feel like it, pushing yourself harder than you want to, saying no to distractions, working hard, overcome. But regret is worse. Regret is looking back and wishing you wasted time. Regret is noticing opportunities you could have had but didn't. Regret is realizing you had the potential to be great, but you let it get away. Regret never ends. Discipline is not something you are born with. It is something you construct. And the only method of construction is to accomplish hard things every day. Begin small each day. Do something that pushes you. If your mind says stop, keep going. If you wish to get done at 10 reps, do 12. If you don't feel like doing a job, do it anyway. Discipline is a muscle. The more you work it, the stronger it becomes. And before long, things that seemed impossible will become second nature. You will wake up early without question. You will train hard without excuses. You will tackle challenges without fear. Because you have conditioned yourself to act, regardless of weakness, is always looking for an opportunity to take over it. Begins with little decisions, skipping one workout, procrastinating one task, making one excuse. And before you know, weakness becomes your master. Discipline is the only thing that can kill it. When your mind tells you, I don't feel like it, discipline tells you, do it anyway. When excuses crop up, discipline puts them out of business. When distractions attempt to divert you, discipline keeps you fixed on. Weakness is a disease, and discipline is the medicine. The stronger your discipline, the weaker your excuses. Get the strongest individuals do not view discipline as something they must do. They view it as who they are. They don't say, I must train. They say, I am a warrior, and training is what I do. They don't say, I must work hard. They say, I am disciplined. I don't need motivation. I take action. When discipline becomes part of your own identity, you do not wrestle with remaining consistent. You simply do it because it is who you are. Most people assume that discipline is restriction. They believe that it means existing in a difficult, unenjoyable life, continually compelling yourself to accomplish things that you do not want to do. But this is not necessarily true. Discipline is the best expression of freedom. Disciplined with your actions, you are free from regret. Weak people do whatever they feel like. In the moment, they let emotions control them. But ultimately, they become slaves to their own weaknesses. Disciplined people discipline themselves. They are masters of their mind, body, and destiny. Because of this, they are free. If you conquer discipline, you can do anything. Strength, success, confidence, power. Everything is based on discipline. Do not wait for inspiration. Take action immediately. Do not have excuses. Annihilate them. Do not be ruled by weakness. Be stronger, because at the end, discipline is the difference between the achievers and the keepers of the status quo. If you aspire to be unstoppable, unshakable, unshakable, and really great, make discipline your master. Your emotions are strong. They can propel you ahead or render you immobile. It can toughen you or weaken you. The difference between a warrior and the rest is control. Most people are slaves to their emotions. They respond to everything. If they sense anger, they lash out. If they sense sorrow, they quit. If they sense doubt, they give up. They let feelings control their actions rather than selecting their actions in spite of their feelings. But if you wish to have mastery over your mind and body, if you wish to be unstoppable, you have to learn one thing. You have to master your emotions, or your emotions will rule you. Many believe that controlling emotions is about suppressing them, acting like they don't exist. That's not the solution. You are human, and emotions will always be in you. The intention is not to be emotionless. It is to be the master of your emotions and not their slave. A warrior doesn't suppress fear, anger, frustration, or pain. He feels them, knows them, but doesn't allow them to control his decisions. Anger can destroy, but it can also motivate you. Fear can paralyze, but it can also sharpen in you. Pain can break you, but it can also make you stronger. The difference is in how you use them. Most people live in reaction mode. Something happens and they immediately react in anger, fear, or frustration. But warriors don't react, they respond. When someone makes fun of you, do not react in anger. Remain calm. Weak men anger easily. Strong men master themselves. When you do something wrong, do not react with frustration. Learn from it. Weak people become emotional about failure. Warriors learn from it and return stronger. When life presents obstacles to you, do not react with pity for self-cope and go forward. Weak individuals, bitch warriors, a customer response is emotional and uncontrollable. A response is unhurried and calculated. Be in control of your response. Responses. Wrath is one of the most pernicious sentiments. It can turn you careless, cause you to say that which you shouldn't say, bring you to senses in the heat of the moment. If anger takes over you, it will kill you. But anger is also energy. If you tame it, you can use it to drive your focus, your discipline, and your drive. The secret is to channel anger, not suppress it. When you sense anger welling up, do not blow channel it. Channel it in training, channel it into discipline, channel it into action. A warrior's anger does not make him reckless. It makes him sharper. Fear is a trick that your mind tricks you into believing it. Makes everything look worse than it actually is. It makes you hesitate. Keeps you in one spot, too scared to take the next step. But the greatest secret about fear is that it's after you stepped, it disappears. How many times have you been too scared to do something only to find late? It was never as bad late. It was never as bad as you thought. You fear speaking up. Speak up more. If you fear failure, fail faster and learn from it. If you fear pushing past your limits, push even harder. A warrior does not run from fear. He steps into it and destroys it. Pain is something that every human being experiences. Physical pain, emotional pain, the pain of loss, the pain of failure. But pain is not your enemy. Pain is a test. Weak people let pain break them. They complain, they quit, they seek ways to escape. But warriors take pain and turn it into power. Every great fighter has trained by suffering. Every great leader failed and endured before succeeding. Every powerful mind has endured trial by adversity. When you encounter suffering, don't flee from it. Sit with it. Learn from it. Let it make you tougher. A warrior doesn't ask, why is this being done to me? A warrior asks, how do I utilize this to become stronger? You will not always want to train. You will not always want to work. You will not always be motivated. But this is where discipline has to be greater than emotion. Weak people say, I don't feel like it. Warriors say, I do it. Anyway, this is what separates those who become great and those who remain the same. Warriors do what needs to be done. No matter how you feel, if feelings try to divert you from your target, stay focused. If your mind tries to come up with excuses, push ahead anyway. If doubt sneaks in, remind yourself who you are and why you began. The strongest men aren't the ones who lift the most weight. They are not the fighters. Fight best, they are the masters of themselves. If you can tame your feelings, if you can prioritize discipline over emotions, if you can transform fear into fuel and pain into power, then nothing is impossible. Most individuals are captives of their emotions, but warriors master themselves. And when you master yourself, you master everything every single day. Are making a choice, a decision on who you are, how you live, and what type of person you become. Most individuals don't know, but their behavior, their routine, and their attitude are making their destiny. At the moment, some individuals drift along in life without purpose. They wake up, get through their day, and allow life to happen to them. They complain about situations. They complain about others, and they feel as if they have no control over where they turn out. But a warrior does not think that way. A warrior knows that he is entirely in charge of his life. He knows that who he turns out to be is not up to luck, not up to fate, not up to anybody else. It is up to him. The question is, who are you turning into? Nothing in life is an accident. The strongest minds, the best warriors, the most focused individuals, none of them achieve their position by happenstance. They forge themselves. Each exercise you do, each book you read, each obstacle you push through, these are all bricks in your foundation of yourself. But the converse is also correct. Every time you skip workout, every time you opt for comfort over effort, each time you let fear control you back, these are also bricks, but they are constructing a weaker version of you. Each day, you are deciding between two versions of yourself: the strong, disciplined, unstoppable version, the weak, lazy, excuse-making version. Life seriously, but someday is an illusion. It does not exist. The only thing that is yours now is your future self. The man you aspire to be is not constructed later. He is being constructed in this moment. Now everything you do today is either drawing you closer to him or driving you away. If you keep waiting, if you keep putting it off, you will wake up one day and find that someday never arrived, and by then it will be too late. Weak people wait for someone to come and turn their life around. They wait for motivation, for the perfect timing, for someone to lead them. But warriors own their own journey. If you are not where you desire to be, it is your duty to change it. If you are not as tough as you desire to be, it is your duty to train harder. If your life is not where you want it to be, it is your responsibility to take action. No one is coming to save you. No one is going to do the work. You and no one will care about your excuses. The world does not reward excuses, it rewards action. Too many people live their entire lives on the basis of what other people expect of them. They tread the line that society dictates. They pick a career, beliefs, and lifestyles on the basis of what our people believe is appropriate. And then one morning, they find themselves staring in the mirror and do not even know who they are. You need to ask yourself, am I living what I want, or am I living the life that other people expect out of me? If you are not traveling your own way, you are living someone else's dream rather than constructing your own. A warrior does not ask permission. He does not seek approval. He takes his own road and walks it boldly. At the end of your life, you will glance back and view the decisions that created the bitter reality that no one else will hold them accountable. But if you are tough, it will be because you decided to be tough. If you are weak, it will be because you decided to be weak. If you are successful, it will be because you decided to act. If you are filled with regret, it will be because you decided to remain in the same position, are determining the individual that you will become tomorrow. If you wish to be a warrior, decide to be one. If you wish to be disciplined, decide to be disciplined. If you wish to die without regret, decide to act now, because ultimately the biggest fight you will ever have is the fight for your own fate, and only you can be the one who can win it. You can be the one who can win it. I was advised I wouldn't make it in Hollywood. I was advised I couldn't be successful, and yet I am here. Not because I happened to be lucky, not because I was somehow special, because I did what everyone else would not. You desire power, you desire mastery, you desire to overwhelm your mind and body. Then recall, annihilate your border's soak shed and instill fear. Nothing particularly failure condition your mind like a warrior, be water flow and smash regimen. Most importantly, reign over your feelings. Decide who you become. The best struggle is not with the world, it is with yourself, and you need to win. If this motivated you, like the video, share, and subscribe. Your path to mastery starts now.